Hi everyone. We have Sashrika here, Siddharth here, and let me. Okay, I guess someone hijacked my stream. These two people. I'll let Siddharth to continue. Siddharth, what are we doing today?
So, first of all, thanks a lot everyone for joining in. And this is a live stream on Praveen's channel, but we are not gonna allow Praveen to talk even a little bit, right, Sashrika? We are going to hijack his stream today, and the topic of stream is leveling up your LinkedIn profile. And as you all already know, we might have shared the registration form with you all on our social medias, on our different communication platforms. So you might have submitted your LinkedIn profiles for the same. So we are going to go through your LinkedIn profile, and we'll be checking what are the things you are missing, or maybe what are the things you have done fantastically, and we'll be giving you a shout out or
Can
maybe
I get
some
my LinkedIn
suggestions or
check?
feedbacks. Maybe we can do that. What say, Sashrika?
Yeah, sure. We can do that, of course, if that is something you're up for.
If we have time, because I don't want to stop others' chance to come in. So I'm always like this, right? So no, later. Go ahead. So let's look at who all are in the live chat, and then we'll give the priority that way. So yeah, who's taking the count? I hope
Yes, of
everyone is.
course. So everyone who's interested for this, just put your mention your name in the comment section, and we'll just grab someone up from there, and we'll grab your LinkedIn profile, and we'll review it live up on stream. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be interesting. Siddharth here has a lot of experience. He's done a previous stream just like this one, and it was super fun. It was super incredible. We're gonna run this stream for as long as you not as long as you want, but probably for as long as we can manage reviewing these LinkedIn profiles. But one thing is, at the end of the stream, your LinkedIn profile would be leveled up by, even if just by one step. I mean, that is the what I call a successful live stream for this one. So mention your names, drop a hey in the chat room so that I can see all your all you lovely people there, and then we'll start reviewing the profiles. While reviewing the profiles, we'll also share a couple of tips and tricks that would be a game changer for you, because those are the tips that will help your profile boost your profile in front of reviewers, recruiters, and somebody else who's looking for some particular opportunities to reach out to you. And trust me, LinkedIn is an incredible platform for all the incredible opportunities that you see out there. And after one point of time, you don't have to look for all those crazy opportunities. You don't have to be aware about all those crazy opportunities. Those opportunities come to you. And that's what the difference that we're trying to make with these live streams. And I all are excited about it, as we all are. So just share your name. I think we have a couple of people sharing their names. So Siddharth, can you grab pick one of those and then pick up their
and yes, I would like to also say that the internet connection from my side seems to be perfect. In case if you find YouTube buffering, it's YouTube putting a saving eye on me. So just refresh the page so that you don't miss anything out. Okay.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, Sashrika, for putting everything together. And yes, everyone who have joined us, if you have filled the registration form, if you have submitted your LinkedIn profile, we will definitely be reviewing yours. What you all need to do is just put down your names. I can already see few folks who have joined us have already, let us know that you are there in the chat, so that we can pick your profile from the response sheet, and we can review your LinkedIn profile at the very first. And just in case you forgot to just fill out the form, make sure you are filling that out. From the link is already in the description of the live stream, and then we'll pick your profile from there. But I can see many people have already joined us, so maybe we can start picking few of them.
Absolutely. And we should kick Praveen out, because he's not supposed to hear all these incredible tricks. This is everything for the audience. You are not supposed to be here. So bye, Praveen.
All right. So Siddharth, let's start your business.
All right, then I've shared my screen. Currently, what you all are looking at is my LinkedIn profile, and we'll be switching on to more LinkedIn profiles. But let me see the chat once so that I can understand who all have joined us. I can see Priya Darshini. Let me just find her LinkedIn profile as soon as possible. All right, I have found one. Let me just open that up quickly.
Sure.
All right, it's loading. I hope it's visible to you, Sashrika.
Yes, it is. It just
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's start from the top. First of all, for the headshot, that's the first impression, because many times we say that first impression is the last impression, but for the headshot it looks good to me. But still, I would suggest you to maybe have a straight headshot, maybe uh, like a passport size photograph or kind of a thing. But maybe someone can easily identify you. I can easily identify you from this, but maybe you can make it more straighter. What do you think?
Absolutely. It should look a little more on point. So with that, I would say like choose a picture that is not black and white, like a colored picture perhaps, or something which clearly identifies all your features and like gives us a clear idea. Okay, like someone can identify you from the picture itself. They see you at a conference and they say, hey, we met Priyadarshini and this is the same person, and we can recognize them for the picture. So choose some of those pictures, professional ones, someone like pick color pictures or something like that. And for the cover photo itself, I would say like choose something that describes about like there's something that tells more about your personal brand. So you picked a mountain picture, great. That shows that you love like mountains or something. If that is what you want to depict. But if you want to depict something which is related to technology, you might want to choose a different cover photo there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a small suggestion. Yeah, I have a small suggestion with respect to the, yes, they have kicked me. They have just kicked my face out. Okay, I am still there in the string. Okay, for the banner image, I would suggest you to put something that is related to what a recruiter might find you in. For example, if you are a hillside photographer, this might look good, nice. But maybe something related to the dev stuff that you have done. For example, some projects that you have done, or maybe if you love is some kind of thing that depicts that you are a Flutter plus JS developer. So something like that shows your JavaScript geek, something like that. That might work.
Yeah, absolutely. That agreed. That is what we were trying to present here. So the cover photo depicts your personal brand, your personality, what you want to share with the recruiter or someone else who's looking for a particular role, let's say. So your headline says you're a Flutter and JS developer, and your cover photo says you love mountains, and that is what is like giving two separate like pieces of information to the person who's looking at the profile, and maybe try to align something or make something which is like which speaks out to the person who's viewing your profile.
Yeah, absolutely. And also one more thing which I can see missing over here is the audio note of your like how your name is pronounced or something like that. For example, I'm not sure if it's exactly pronounced as Priya Darshini Chetia. It can be like different as well. But if you can add your recorded voice like this, it can be like perfect. What you can do is you just need to add your voice note under 10 seconds, and that too from your mobile devices. It is not available on web, but you can definitely hear that from web as well. So make sure you add that as well over here. Talking about this, the headline, I would suggest not to add Flutter plus JS developer because I can find all of these things in the maybe skills section over here as well. Like skills, you have already written Java, research, web development, so you can add those things over there as well. Else what you can do is maybe some job role which you are focusing on, or any other role where you are currently interning, or maybe currently working at. You can add those things. Rest of the things, I guess it's fine, like mentor at Bash Women Community. It shows that you are at a particular position, right? And also this is a kind of a headline I would recommend everyone to go with, because it's not that much long, it's not that much short. Just 2 to 3 lines is like more than enough, so that it's not like a clutter over there, just on the first impression though. So this looks good. You have also
Absolutely.
added industry as well. Yes, sir.
Just to include something on what Siddharth said, just to top over it and complete that, is you mentioned you're an MLH Hackathons participant. Great job, incredible. This shows that you're just not talking about your achievement, but something that you're actively participating in right now. And you mentioned that you're an open source enthusiast, which tells me something about your interest. But if I scroll down and if I see some of the open source contributions or some of the projects, or probably a GitHub URL right there, that's gonna top this whole thing off and make your profile pop out.
Yeah, definitely. I would second that. And whatever you're mentioning on your profile, make sure you're adding some real proof for the same as well. As Sashrika said, if you are a MLH Hackathon participant, maybe you can share some of the projects which you built, what were your experiences, anything else as well. Maybe if you are an open source enthusiast, try to showcase what were your best open source contributions so far. And that can be like awesome. I can't see any featured content over here. What do I mean by featured content is that this. You can add any of the links. You can add any of your maybe posts or anything else as well over here in this section. So maybe you can add those over here as well. And checking about the about section, for me, it looks very long, for someone visiting your profile. I personally would not prefer to read that much in depth, because see, I would definitely agree with, around 2 paragraphs, that would be like more than enough. But as you can see, you have mentioned the skills as well over here, which you can definitely add in the later part of your profile over here. So it becomes a kind of a redundant thing to be there on your profile. I worked with knowledge of the tools, like also, like if you're adding some of your projects,
Skills,
you
yeah.
also have an option to add in the accomplishment section.
Right. So in the accomplishment section, there are where you can add projects, publications, research papers, any other organizations that you're a part of. If you want to mention that, any courses that you took. So there are separate sections for each of these things that you mentioned in your about section. So keep your about section crisp and to the point. Include all the information that you can't in either of those sections and you think is relevant to your profile. But for whatever reason, if you have like a separate section and you can put that in that, like put that in a different section, please go ahead and do that. Like for example, skills, as Siddharth mentioned, perfectly great, like great example. You have Flutter skills, you developed Android, iOS applications, add that in the skills segment rather than putting it in the about section. Same goes for your HTML, CSS, and the testing tools that you've been working on. I honestly like the statement that where you feel free to connect with you, which means that you're open to connections and you want to expand your network and talk more about it. So I personally like that. But again, this can be a little more specific. Like, okay, feel free to connect with me if you want to chat about something. Like, add a statement which says, what do you want to talk about when someone connects with you? What are you the go-to person for? Let's say if you want to talk about Flutter, feel free to connect with me if you have doubts about Flutter, something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, talking in brief, the about section should comprise of maybe who you are, your personality, what are your like best experiences, what are your like any good experience maybe from your past event or something, and just try to showcase your personality over there so that anyone who is visiting your profile for the very first time can know more about it just by reading a single paragraph or two. So that can be done, and maybe you can try to reduce that and make it more short and crisp. That would be awesome. I can see you are active on LinkedIn. That is a great point, because activities does maybe talk about someone in a much better way. I'm not gonna, of course, just after connecting with you, I'm not gonna check out all your posts, but activity shows how active you are. In experience as well,
The
I
other
would
thing that
suggest.
I see, sorry, I was just saying that the next thing that I see in the activity section is that they also mention something like they're congratulating other folks on their achievements, which to me seems like you are supportive of the community, and honestly love that about you.
Definitely, that's so great to see. And also, I was talking about experience. When you're adding experience, try to add something which really adds value to maybe the future job roles you're focusing, or maybe any other internships you are currently focusing on. Also, when you're adding the experience, try to add some description as well about the same, like what type of job role it is, what type of work you're doing at the company, or maybe any other place. So it helps someone else to know more about the works you have done, the experiences you have gained so far. And for example, if someone is a recruiter and if maybe they are checking your profile, so they might be able to understand the kind of a work you are already doing, and they can shortlist you on just basis of that, before even the interview round. So that really adds a value.
Absolutely. And like all these, you're working on so many different things, right? You're working with Girls Trip Summer of Code, you're working with Flutteristas. Now, somebody who's like looking at your profile and doesn't know about each of these organizations, like they're not famous in the region where they are, they would have no clue whatsoever about what it is that you're here as a member, what is your role, and what this organization does. So just a quick line with a few action words that states what your job role is, what your profile is, and then what is the organization's main focus or aim. So that is something that I'll actually help boost your profile.
Definitely.
So Sashrika and Siddharth, I'm looking into the chat and perfectly answering everyone's queries as well. But looks like the chat is also overwhelmed by LinkedIn profiles. So Sashrika, please let's not miss any one of them, and Siddharth as well. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure, we'll pick everyone.
Just wanted to give a quick stuff to Kriti Singh. She was asking about what did I study. So I did my master's in cloud computing from University of Leicester. And for the record, I did not do any GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, anything. Because I'm from India and I got an Indian degree. British universities, most of the British universities take that as a proof of English, and they waived off all the, like almost all the entry clearance, etc. So all I needed to do is just submit my degree certificate and just come into the UK. So in case if someone wants to come to the UK, please let me know.
Interesting. Thanks a lot, Praveen, for sharing that.
Interesting piece of information. Absolutely. Yeah, I can see that the comment section is brimming with so many folks who are trying to get.
I will handle that. And Kumar, yes, let's do a one-on-one session with you as well. So you asked it, so you have it. Yes.
Incredible. All right. So moving on, we were talking about the education part. And Praveen, if somebody mentions that they want to review their profile, just let us know once we are through with this one, and, so that we don't miss anyone.
Yes, definitely. So who is there in the next? Because I saw a couple of my friends who are also wanted to come in, and they also had stuff. And wait, right now Kriti Singh is very active in this. Should we see Kriti's next one?
Yeah,
as the
sure.
next?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Cool. Hey Kriti, thanks for asking such a nice question. You earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if Kriti has registered for the form. If in case you haven't, Kriti, this is now your chance to fill it up. Siddharth is pulling up the next profile, and it'll be you if you've already filled the form.
Wait, so
and
also we need to have a list of all the next ones. So looks like we have Ravina, we have Tushar, we have Kumar, we have Ayush. A lot of people have just registered itself. So I mean, yeah.
Wow.
No worries, Praveen. What we can do is
I'm just gonna leave the responsibility to Sashrika and Siddharth because they kicked me out of the stream.
No worries. Your video is just kicked out. Your audio isn't. So feel free to let us know who is next as soon as we complete one. All right. So talking about education, there's not any chance of maybe discussion on education, because for many of the recruiters, I personally have seen they do not more focus on the education, but they try to focus more on your experiences, the projects which you have worked on in the past, or maybe other skill sets which you're having, right? So if you have added just your high school and college in which you're pursuing, right, the college in which you're studying right now, that's more than enough. Also, I can see many skills over here. People can also endorse you for the same. So for the skills section, what I would suggest everyone is that try to add the top 3 skills which you are the best at, so that people can endorse you. For example, currently I'm good at public speaking. Maybe I can add public speaking in my top 3 skills. So all the people who are listening to me right now can go on my profile, and as soon as they just encounter that the skills and endorsements sections, they have I have public speaking as one of the skills. Now they have heard me in the past, so they can endorse me right away, without even thinking in a way. In any other way. So what you can do is maybe highlight the top 3 skills which you are best at. You have proved yourself in the same in community, in public, so that people are aware about your skills, and maybe anytime they visit your profile, they see these skills into this section, they can directly endorse you for the same. You do not need to ask for endorsements again and again to any other people as well. What do you think, Sashrika?
Absolutely, I agree with that. So as mentioned by Siddharth, that this is an incredible opportunity for you to mention your top 3 skills and actually show off them by including those endorsements are a way for recruiters or someone else to know that yes, people are out there who are endorsing and supporting you, that yes, they can vouch for you and say that yes, you know about the skills, you have experience in this knowledge, I've seen you do the work. So even if the endorsements are a little low, don't worry, but that means that someone endorsed, which means that they know that you worked on the skill one way or the other. So keeping your top three skills are absolutely important. Now, as what I can see is, Pridarshini, you mentioned that Flutter and JS developer, like these are you mentioned that you are a Flutter and JS developer, but in your skills and endorsements, we see Java, research, and web dev. So I would love to see if you had like Flutter, Android applications, or iOS developer, or something related, like even JavaScript as a skill would have been a great way for you to, match it with your headline. So what I think your profile needs is just a little bit of consistency throughout so that your skills match your experiences and your header.
Yeah, it should not vary, like in the top you are saying something else, and maybe while scrolling we end up getting something else at the same time. So try to be consistent with what you're writing, all the content which you are adding onto your LinkedIn profile, and try to be as much less redundant as possible. Try not to repeat things like again and again, right? That would really add value to your profile at the same time. And I can see there are like under this section, under accomplishments, you can add a lot of things. Like Sashrika mentioned earlier, you can add languages, you can add projects, publications, any other organization which you're part of, right? So maybe you can try adding that as well. I'm sure you're already part of many communities like Girls Trip Summer of Code, WTM, and what else, Bash Women, and many other as well. So make sure you add each and every organization of yours which you're part of, and that would be
any
awesome.
courses that you took specifically to learn some of the skills, you can add those as well. You can add certificates in the featured section if you have those. Honestly, certificates are something which in the physical world, like nobody would ask you for them, but it is great if you can just add them over to your LinkedIn profile so that if someone wants to have a look at them, they just know where to look. They don't have to like track you down and then find that certificate and then get some proof that yes, you've already done the work. They can have a look at it in your profile.
Definitely. So I suppose there isn't anything else which we can check that out. But yes, definitely you can work on all the things which we mentioned, and maybe you can let us know after you update your LinkedIn profile, and we can check that out after that as well. But let us bring Kriti Singh on the screen, as Praveen mentioned. Was there anything missing, Sashrika, from the last profile which we took?
And Sashrika, we can also do one more thing. Like we can use the collaborative chat inside this guy's Google Sheets, so that we can. I'm just putting the names as well as in the order. So maybe we can use that to go for the queue.
1 second, let me just pull that up. Or if Siddharth, it's already like you've already opened that, then you can just follow that queue if you already have that Google Sheet.
Yeah, let me check that once. Praveen, where have you written that?
It's on the chat on the right side, right top. You can find the chat, comments or something, whatever shit it is. Sorry about that.
In the Google Sheets itself, yeah.
In the Google Sheets on the right side.
Yep. Got it.
Got it?
Okay. Awesome. So we have right now we have on the list Betri, then Priya Agarwal, Ayush Soni, Sneha Dudankar, Kumar Abhishek, Kirtana S, and whoever is coming in, let's keep adding them.
Absolutely. I honestly, I am amazed to see you all this enthusiastic, and it's super amazing that you are using LinkedIn as boosting up your profile, taking this opportunity so that you can boost up your profile and so that you're all visible to the recruiters. I understand that some of you are just in your first year, some of you are just like graduating like from varied profiles, but honestly, I am absolutely thrilled to amazing and lovely profiles. Even Priyadarshini, we mentioned a couple of tips, but she had an incredible profile for someone who's done so much of, so many contributions and such experiences.
Definitely. And moving on to Kriti's LinkedIn profile. For me, the headshot looks good, decent. What you can do is maybe there's some very little, maybe 2% of disturbance in the background, which is like the frames. Maybe what you can do is like remove the background and just add a normal light color over there so that it can enhance your profile. But for me, it looks good. I can identify you maybe when we meet in person, and that decreases the chances of ambiguity, and this looks good to me at the same time. And also, again, you're missing the recorded audio note over here, like how your name is pronounced. Maybe you can add that. I can see you're missing the industry as of now, so maybe you can add that as well if you have any experience as of now, which I can't see. But make sure you add that. Let me check if year you are right now. So maybe I can see you are in your second year, I suppose. So maybe
Yeah.
it's no ways, maybe you can gain experiences after gaining some internships or maybe doing some open source contribution or something like that. But I had this one question up in my mind, Sashrika. What one should do if they do not have any experience, maybe while they are in their first year of college or maybe in second year of college? What do you think?
I am glad you asked that. So, I would say that if you are just starting out, like your university is not even begun, your college is not even begun yet. So, you can include some of the achievements you had in school, but make sure that you remove those as soon as your college experiences populate out. The other thing I would advise is if you are in your first year, and let's say you participated in a college society, you are a part of a club or any other volunteer work that you're trying to do, any of these things, they absolutely matter. So you can include those clubs, you can include those societies, and you can share your interests on your LinkedIn profile. Again, you can repopulate it and include it with much more relevant experiences as you move forward. But at the beginning, this is a great opportunity for you to do. Other thing that you can do is if you have interest in one particular programming language and you've started learning that, mention how you're learning that, or if you've created a project, mention that project, because that will give us an idea that you're just you are very active, you're proactive in your community, you're working towards your skill set, you have a certain goal in mind and you're working towards that. So you mentioned that you're a web developer. If you've built a particular website, even if it's your own portfolio, mention that link, and people would be thrilled to see that on their profile, because that would actually complement your claim with what you've already created, and they can see your skills live through your websites, whatever it is that you create. So these are some incredible examples that you can work. So building your own personal projects, or working through clubs, volunteer works, or anything else like that would absolutely complement your profile, and that is what I think is missing, and you can work on that on your profile too.
Yeah, definitely. And also one more thing. For example, you have mentioned over your BTech in CSE. Now, for me, it's like a redundant thing, because when I'll click on your college, it will take me over here, which shows me that you are doing Bachelor's of Technologies and that too in computer science. So writing the same over here becomes more redundant, and I would suggest you to maybe modify your headline, something which becomes very eye-catchy, maybe something which explains who you are, what are your roles somewhere, or maybe what experiences you have so far, maybe something like that.
Absolutely. You also have a few of the other certifications that I see, which is incredible. Certifications are a great way for you to post your profile and see, for the recruiters to see what skills you are proficient at and you've taken certification courses in. That is something you can also use for your headline if you want, that you like. So you say that you have a certification in Python. So whatever that credential is, you can use those credentials and highlight your profiles through that.
Yes. Again, from the about section, the last one was too long and this one is too short, according to me, because what you can do is maybe try adding more about you, who you are, what do you like, tell us more about your personality. That would be like awesome. And also one more thing, you have mentioned over here a link. Now, this is not clickable, right? What if I'm opening this from my mobile phone? What you can do is the best thing to highlight all the links is maybe adding the featured content over here. For example, on my profile, what I did is that I have added my website link. Now over here in the featured section, I've just added that thing. Now when I'll click on plus, I can add post, articles, any other links or any other media as well at the same time. So you can do the same. Maybe you can, add your GitHub profile in the featured section so that people can directly click on that and maybe, head over to that.
Okay, quick shout from the comment section. Tushar is asking, I have registered. Okay, not that one. I'm a third year and have no experience. What should I do? So first thing I would say is I suggest you would have done some nice things. So I know that people do not have much experience this way. So just try to put whatever you have done so far. That will work. If you have not done anything, your let's say your GitHub links or something like that will also work. Maybe you can tell about your achievements, or if there is nothing at all, just tell about what you want to do in your about section. That works completely. That works. And the other question is, would you suggest to add our resume in the featured section, Priya Agarwal? I would say yes, and this is a mixed question. So, what is your ideas, both of you?
I think you can, if you can add your resumes if you want to. LinkedIn overall showcases all your experiences. So if you just want to skip that, that is completely fine. It's honestly a personal choice. If you want to add your resumes, completely go for it. Folks can download your resumes through your LinkedIn website and then have it handy. But mostly, I would say there are two ways that you can go about it. If you're participating or in an organized in a conference or in an event or somewhere where you are actively sharing your LinkedIn profiles with recruiters, add your resume for that period, because then if they look at your LinkedIn profile, they see your resume, they'll download it and they'll save it for themselves, and then can reach out to you later if they want to. They'll not keep your profile open at all times. Like, that is one trick that you can do. But if you want to remove that at all other times, that is completely fine. I mean, that is something that I've seen a lot of folks do, and it's worked out well for them.
One thing is about the privacy as well. For example, in your CV, obviously you will be having your personal details. So just think about that before you share your CV on your featured profile section. So if you're okay with that, that's completely fine. Obviously, there are so many creeps out there, so you have to think about that too.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, just sorry to interrupt, but there's someone at my door. I need to visit that ASAP. And meanwhile, what you can do is, Sashrika, maybe after whatever you were about to say.
No, we
what's the importance of certification?
We both will look through the comments in the time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So there is this awesome comment again from Kriti Singh. So, sharing my achievements from stuff which is not related to programming field, will that look all right? 100% absolutely.
Yeah, completely fine. I second that. It is okay. So LinkedIn includes all your diverse skill set, all your diverse interests and features. There's also an interest section at the bottom of your profile, which would tell me that, okay, you were interested in technology, or you're following, let's say, Microsoft, or you're following Google for technology updates, but you're also following at the same time another music group that you love because music is your passion. That shows me that you are not just someone who's like all about work and programming. That shows me that you have diverse skill sets. That shows me that you have varied interests and you have a certain personality that you bring to to whatever organization you want to be a part of. So including some other skill set is absolutely all right. Like, for example, if you just scroll down, scroll down on it, my first ever internship was an event coordinator internship, and that was just some of the varied interests that I have. I like event management, and that is what I included in my profile. That has nothing to do with programming whatsoever, and it's just there so that it gives a little edge to my profile, that if someone wants to organize, like if someone is interested in programming and events, I can be someone they can reach out to and talk.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so that is one of the tricks that you can obviously take note of and include in your profile. So whatever your varied interest might be, it's always better to have something on your profile rather than like leaving the experience section blank, because that just shows that yes, even if you're like just starting out with university, you had some experiences within your high school, maybe you're a part of a music group, or you won some of the debate competitions. Anything would that be, if you're just a first year, doesn't matter, you can include that, and just you always have the option to change it and swap it up with something else that you feel is better for your profile. Hi Siddharth, you're back.
Oh no.
Yes,
okay,
I'm back
fine.
there.
I was about to kick him out and come in, but it's all right. So we have more questions coming in as well. How are we supposed to do it? Okay, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna leave it to Siddharth and Sashrika. Their experience than me.
Let's take a couple of questions, Siddharth, and then we can move on to the next. We can complete the profile and move on to the next. I can also see a lot of questions coming in, so I just don't want to miss out on something that's important or probably will help them. Okay, so is certification?
So maybe you want to pick someone?
Exactly. That's something which I wanted to answer. So certificates are not important, but certifications are really important. But again, for me, I don't think any of the certifications will be working out, because I'm showing everything. Like, for example, if I'm demonstrating my capability outside, that is more than a certificate, a mere paper, right? So always try to show something like a demonstration rather than a paper. Your life should not be decided by a single paper, which let it be a CV, let it be a resume, let it be a certificate. You have to show your potential by sharing what you have done so far, not by a paper. What is your both of
Yeah.
your
Agreed, absolutely. So if you can see that they also have license and certificate. Like for example, Kriti has license and certifications in this profile. And the reason that I mentioned and like called those out was because I can see that there is an introduction to HTML and CSS course, which is the reason that she is interested in web development. But if in those courses, like she's made some of the other project where she, actually demonstrated those skills, I would rather see that project rather than this license and certificate, because that would give me a better idea on what her skills are, what her like what at what level she's practicing right now, and if she's like
Yeah.
she's working on it, that project is still developing or that project is already completed, whatever that might be. But that would give me a much better idea on what your profile and interests are rather than just a certificate. But hey, you can always keep a certificate. It's just like an additional thing that you can do apart from sharing your project.
Definitely. And also, like, on top of that, for example, if you're thinking that you'll do certificate and maybe you can land somewhere, at a good place with a good job role or something like that, it's like, for example, you'll definitely gain those certificates, but at the end of the day, no one is gonna see those piece of paper. They will see how skilled you are, what are the experiences you are having, how logical you think in many other ways as well at the same time. So it all comes to what level of knowledge you are at right now, and what are the different possibilities you can work in, and any other ways. And what happens is, you will start getting certificates. I've seen many people who have just clicked on the next button and gained like tons of certificates while they're completing the course. But at the end of the day, that is useless, right? You're not investing your time in a correct way, on a proper track, right? You are definitely earning certificates, but that is not adding value to your skill set or anything else as well at the same time. So try to work around your skills, try to gain experience, try to add value in the community, try to contribute in the open source community, and many other ways you can gain those real world experiences. And at the end of the day, after you will do all of these things, your work will speak for yourself. You would not require any certificates to showcase your skill set or anything else, or your knowledge at the same time. So make sure you are adding some genuine credibility about your experience, about your work, not just via certificates, but maybe via other medium, via your involvement in the community, via your contributions or any other way. So that would definitely help. I'm not saying that certifications are not good. I've seen many certifications which are like brilliant, which can just give you some altogether different level of exposure. But it only gives you when you have the right mindset while you're pursuing for the same. And yeah, definitely keep those things in the mind.
Yes,
you
there's
don't know when
something. Sorry,
you don't know
Praveen.
when they will actually help you. So it is always good to have a certification, but something, if you are like, for example, there is no certification for web developers. It is your creative mindset. Why does someone need to certify you first of all? Why do you need that thing? Let the others look at your work, and that speaks for itself, right?
Absolutely. There are a lot of certifications out there, and I can see a comment that I would like to touch upon. Abhishek just mentioned that sometimes the certification costs are too high to bear, and the courses are even like way expensive for you to pursue them for your career. And that's completely, I understand that is the scenario, that the certification costs are high, or the cost of the courses are also high. You don't need to pursue those courses or certifications. That is not an absolute necessity that you have to do. There are free resources available for pretty much everything that you want to learn. And if they are not, like, if you don't find those free resources, you can always join a community or a group that specializes in that technology and just ask for help. Hey, I'm just starting out with that. I don't know how to move on with that or move forward. Which resource I should follow? Can you help me out? And someone in the community who just
Yeah.
like who was at the same place that you were before would share the resource that they started out. And they might have tried out like 2 or 3 different resources before like giving you a particular direction and telling you that, hey, you can try out this particular thing, and I'm sure that it'll work. And this is how you can also make friends in the community and reach out to them in case you have doubts in that particular technology. Let's say you're stuck at something and you need help. Someone who shared their resource, you can reach out to them. Hey, this is the resource that you shared, and I don't know what to do with this particular problem that I'm stuck at. I can't find a solution on Stack Overflow or anywhere else. Can you help me out? And they will be happy to, because they've been through that and they can help you out. So you don't need certifications and courses in order to develop all those diverse skill set. For Flutter, I believe I think Pawan has a YouTube channel. He has an incredible playlist for Flutter that has got great reviews and is amazing. I've personally seen him speak at GDG. So, like, again, GDG, another wonderful community that you can go to, check out all those speakers, and they must be sharing their views and profiles. And you can just reach out to them and ask them about their expertise on a particular technology or a problem. So, you don't need those certifications. All you need is the will to learn and actually taking action to pursue those.
Definitely, that's a great point. And I can also see one more comment over here. What to prefer, to showcase your skills? Is it certification or project? So the gist of all of the things which you mentioned, focus more on upskilling. Try to showcase what you're doing. Of course, not a piece of paper may showcase your credibility, but maybe a project which is working, which is open source, which is there in the community, which people are using or getting involved with. That will definitely show the credibility of your skills. So the choice is in your hands. Definitely, you can go ahead with whatever thing you think is good for you. But talking about in general, project and a real world problem which are solving, maybe participating in hackathons or contributing to open source, will definitely upskill your skills and maybe your credibility as well.
True. I can see another question. I think we can take one more question before we start reviewing profiles again. And this question is, I've really projects for myself. I think Satvik asked that question. Should I still make a post for them or just add them into the project section?
Just one thing I wanted to mess around with you, whatever you are going to say. Before that, I just wanted to tell this. Even if you make a simple Hello World project, just put it out. Just show it to everyone, like how Elon Musk did his SpaceX. Okay. For you, that is your SpaceX. Okay, so don't worry about what others will be saying you, because they are not going to help you. So if 80 out of 100 people, there will be like definitely 20 people who are going to shout at you, what is this? This is worthless or something like that. But there will be 80 people who are going to like, oh, great, we are looking for someone totally fresh here. You might be a good fit. Come in. That's it, right? So sorry, Sashrika, go for it.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. If you're making a Hello World project, you're making just a simple calculator app that is also a project. I would say instead of making a post about, showing off your project, if you're not just confident about that, add the project in the project section. And for the post, just mention what you learned while making that project. What were the challenges you faced and how you overcome that. Just a simple short post. And if somebody is reading and like comes across your profile, what they'll see that, okay, I'm also working with this particular technology. I saw this, like, this is the challenge that I'm facing right now, and this is how this will let me try that. You're helping out someone else, and that is a great skill to have, on your profiles, or even like helping someone else out is not as easy as it sounds. It takes a lot of extra effort from it. It takes a lot of communication skills from your end to actually convey a particular response that you want, an experience that you want to share. So if you want to absolutely share, your projects instead of like posting them off, I would say share your learnings, because that would actually be helpful to someone when they look at your profile. Posting about something on social media is something which you want to share and which is helpful for someone else. So that is what I would say you can go about this particular problem. Like if you feel, and just don't think that your project is small. Everybody started out with a Hello World application, as Praveen mentioned. So it's not a small project. It's just your starting point, and it's a long way to go from there.
Yeah.
And one more thing
is also try to go on.
One more thing is, during the interviews, as an interviewer, as a person who interviews candidates, I see the confidence level. This makes you feel more confident than anything. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so great. And also, try to like celebrate your small wins. That's so important, because anyone who is starting, everyone started somewhere. Everyone who is at some peak might have started somewhere else, might have, written that Hello World program. And when you start celebrating your small wins, what happens is that you gain confidence. You wish to do something more, you try to come out of your comfort zone. You push your limits. And that is where you will start climbing, the ladder of growth. That is where you'll start doing various stuffs which you might have never imagined you would have been doing in the past. What happens is when you try sharing what you're doing, you not only just share, you are sharing your experience. You are, getting into the eyes of other people who are like around you. And at MLH as well, we just say this thing that learn, build and share, right? So what you're learning, you're building or implementing all of your learnings, and then after you build that, you're sharing the same with your community, so that people can learn something out of your experience. They can avoid mistakes which you might have done, and this is how you add value to the community as well at the same time. And this becomes a lot interesting when people start communicating with you, maybe by reaching out to you, by maybe asking you questions or maybe answering your questions. And this way it becomes a learning graph which keeps on increasing. And there's so much of productivity involved in just a simple process that you can't even imagine. And this is how you can start, definitely. So don't ever think that you should not share your achievements, even if it's smallest. Go and share it with others. As Praveen said, it doesn't matter if it is small or big. Just go ahead and do it.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Awesome. Are there any further questions in the chat?
There are many, but I think we should move on with a few profiles and then we can.
We should really move on with the profiles, because the list is also getting higher and higher, and new people are getting added to it as well. So
yeah,
right.
Don't worry, friends. We'll get to your questions. We'll take a short breaks from profile reviewing, and, come answer your questions and then get right back.
At the same time, I'm also trying to answer most of the questions through chat. And also, please don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn, with me and Sashrika as well as Siddharth. And don't forget to follow their channels as well.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Praveen. So the next profile over here is the profile of Vetrival. Again, I'm not sure how is the name pronounced because I cannot find the audio note over here. So maybe
Vetrival.
That would be awesome. Vetrival. All right. That is how I know, because Praveen has said to me, right, if I would have visited your profile for the very first time, I wouldn't have been able to pronounce your name in a correct way. But maybe you can add that. Maybe you can add banner.
Mine is one of the most common names
right now.
Mine is one of the most
common. I'm
not
sure about that. Praveen is common, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you're talking about Vetri.
Yeah, it's common. So these names are common in India. We know how to pronounce those names, but someone who's from a different region altogether, they might know that, and they might
cool.
Calling someone with a very weird name. With my name, I've personally felt that. I faced that. Sashrika has never.
My dad's name has always been murdered every single time. 100%, no doubts.
It's Purushottamam.
No, Purushothaman. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Okay. So yes, I was talking about the banner. Yeah. So it looks like a blank banner, which I would suggest you not to have, because if you're working on your profile anywhere on any other social media, try to have your profile as much busy as possible. Try to fill out all the possible things which you can in your profile, so that it can help your profile stand out. And talking about LinkedIn data analytics as well, I attended one of the GitHub education live stream where Brian, who is a senior data scientist over there, data analyst, I'm not sure about the role, but he mentioned various facts over there, that if you add this, you get 9 times more views, 9 times more profile visits, and many other stuffs as well. So just by adding few of the points like industry, maybe your location, some of your experiences, or any other things as well, can give you a real boost on LinkedIn, and that really helps a lot.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. And that is what is, I think, with this profile, if you just include some of the, as mentioned, cover photos and just including a great headline, absolutely helps. And these are if you're looking for particular opportunities, your headline absolutely matters, because that is how they're going to use the search feature and then find your profile. In those there's so many profiles that have some similar experience like you have, and it's difficult to reach out to you put your it's like a needle in a haystack. I would say there are so many profiles, so many incredible profiles, and you have to put your best foot forward. And to do that, headlines, cover photos, all of these are some of the incredible ways that you can achieve that.
Yes, and also in the profile picture, I can see your face is not fully covered. It's the head is cutted over here. So try to have a clear headshot where yeah, it's so zoomed out. So maybe try to have a headshot. Maybe I can show you my picture as of now. so you can take an example from that, but maybe try to have a straight headshot which enhances your profile, and maybe people can know more about it just by looking at you. Also, one more thing, redundant thing which I can see over here is MTech data science. If I click on here Bits Pilani, I can see you are doing MTech in data science. And the other thing is the count of followers. I do not think, because it's already mentioned over here under your activity, right? So I can check that out from there as well.
Hey, Deep is here from Angel Hack. Hey, Deep. Deep, look at this. Today, last time when you remember, you and another person, like hijacked my channel. Now, today we have Sashrika and Siddharth hijacking my channel. You started it, man.
Yeah, trend set.
Thanks a lot for joining in. Yeah. We are not gonna allow Praveen to stream on his channel, that is for sure.
Yeah, Praveen's channel is so incredible. It has such great it has so much incredible diverse content that everybody wants to see. And I would say that Praveen will kick you out. We'll invite everyone in, and we'll do it for as long as we can, so that you don't get your channel back anytime soon.
For sure, on point.
All right, let's see the about section. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this, Sashrika?
Okay, so I can see that you are saying that you're a capital expert, ML engineer, tech programmer, 6 years of experience, professional experience. Oh my goodness. Okay, there is, again, so I can see that these are all some skill sets that you can add in the other section, and you don't have to like specify everything in the about section. But that is something that, of course, Siddharth and I are suggesting overall in the profile. And like having experience is great, but you can mention that in the experiences section and just highlight that here. Hey, I worked in this. I worked in E&Y, and I worked in that. Like the first 2 lines aren't great, but the professional experience looks like it's a lot of skill set that you can include in the other segment, in the skill segment, and then get endorsed for that. So I think that would be a much better way of presenting those. What do you think, Siddharth?
Yeah, absolutely. Because for me, it's like just in case if you really want to showcase any of your best experiences or skill sets, you can do that, but maybe try to like reduce that in a single statement and not just an entire paragraph. Because what happens is, for someone who's looking at your profile, may read out first 2 paragraphs of yours in the about section, they might not read the entire one, and it becomes like a kind of a boring for that person as well, because there are like a lot of profiles they are looking out for, and they do not have that much time. So maybe you can just highlight the top 2 or maybe just 1 skills over there. So, and what you can do is just try to add proof to that skills in later part of your profile, so that if the recruiter wants to know more about, all right, what is this skill all about? For example, data science. Have you worked around data science? Have you done an internship or job, or have you worked in any company, or maybe have you like contributed to any open source projects or something like that? So maybe just adding a single word, a keyword in the beginning, and then adding the proof or something which can support your keyword, that would be really beneficial. And I can see a lot of featured content over here, which
I was actually about to point that out, because this is great, incredible to see that you've utilized the featured content, because this is, I think, the first profile in this live stream where we've seen featured content, and absolutely love that. So great job with that. And we can always see that they have like 26,000 followers, and they're active on LinkedIn. The activity is a great comment on that you're active on LinkedIn, you help out, you post often. So yeah, they can see what you're interested in through that.
Yes. And also one more thing about featured section is, for example, who is like so much active on LinkedIn, the featured section really enhances for you to highlight one of the most maybe most reached post or something with maybe highlights one of your achievement or something like that. So out of like hundreds of posts, you can highlight those few unique posts on your profile, and that really becomes outstanding at this moment of time for you. And again, talking about experience, you can add more about your experience over here, maybe about your company, the job role on which you have been working on, whatever the different tasks which you have been doing in the company, and many other things as well. So this can add a lot of value.
Yeah, I think they already mentioned some of their day-to-day work in their about section, and instead of mentioning that in the about section, mention it in your actual work profile, the description of whatever job you were working on. So you're working with ENY, incredible, and your day-to-day tasks include that. Instead of using mentioning that in the about section, I would suggest you can add that to the experience section.
Definitely. And license and certificates, that's absolutely fine. Wow, what a level of endorsement. That's so awesome to see.
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah, this is a new section which I'm seeing right now, the recommendation section as well. So maybe what you can do is, for example, if you're working somewhere as an intern or maybe as a full time, what you can do is after you maybe finish your internship or just leave the company or maybe transit to other company, what you can do is maybe ask your manager to just write something about you, and it can be anything, right? Feel free to ask them to do so. It's, for me, it's not at all wrong in asking your manager, because you have been contributing to that company as at some basic role. So that's absolutely fine. But I would suggest not to ask your friends to do that for you and doing the same in return, because that does not add credibility to your profile. Taking a recommendation from your managers or someone you have worked with in the past adds a lot more value than asking from your friends. What are your thoughts on this, Sashrika?
I agree. I understand where this fear comes from when you're not too comfortable asking your manager for a recommendation. I understand that particularly, but I would say still go ahead. Just ask anyway. With your talk to your manager, even if this is the company that you're currently working at. It's fine to ask for a recommendation, and that is not a recommendation per se for you to switch a job profile, but just a boost about what your work is and how your work has actually been, how your work has actually impacted that organization in a positive way. You're doing incredible work at that job, and honestly, they love you for that, and they will have no problem whatsoever in adding a recommendation for you. But this is something I understand that is not very prevalent for the college students, because you don't have any relevant experiences altogether in beginning in your first or probably your second year. But if you do have an internship that you can ask your manager to put in a good word, you can absolutely add that. You can ask your colleagues, but not your friends, as Siddharth mentioned, your colleagues as in someone from your own team, and just mention that, hey, I was with him in this particular company and he's done incredible work at that. So yeah, that absolutely helps. Your friends, they've not worked with you, they can't vouch for you, but your colleagues, they can definitely do that. And that shows how you create a teamwork, how you create communication, how you're great at your job, and you're overall you overall have a great profile for your next or probably the same job promotion for the same job that you're at.
Yeah, so true. That's absolutely on point. And I can see the accomplishment part is missing over here. So maybe you can try adding that as well, because just a single section has 6 points within itself. So maybe you can add all of those things like certificates, not certificates, but maybe the course, the publication, languages, honors and awards, projects and organization. So just a single section has 6 subsections in it. So maybe you can add that and just have a more busy profile. Awesome. Any ending notes on this profile? This is one of the best games so far. Which game so far?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the great profiles, because we actually mentioned how they've used the featured section. They've used some of their certifications in an incredible way. They have incredible recommendations. So honestly, a great profile overall. There's some just improvements, which of course are suggestions. This is your own personal brand, right? So you can obviously put in whatever you feel is the best and whatever you feel is the right story that your profile defines. But more or less, this is some of the suggestions that we wanted to just put out there for a minute.
Just a suggestion from my side. Yeah, one of the best profiles. But if you both allow, would you both like to add my profile in the middle, for 1 minute? It's your wish. Maybe after Priya's.
Of course.
Just for a reference, nothing else.
Sure, will do. So after Priya, let's links for Praveen's profile, and then we go on from there.
Sure thing, we'll do that, Praveen. The pleasure is all ours.
Absolutely, yeah. And honestly, I don't think you need us to review your profile. We should bring our profiles to you and ask you for a good review and some tips and tricks and pointers on how we can improve that.
No, really, I need to know what do you think, like from your point of view, because it's not like I always know everything, right? Whenever I have that kind of a attitude, I'll never start learning or never learn anything, right? So that's exactly what I wanted to say.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. We'd love to do that. So, Priya, I think, Priya is from the same university that I am. I saw her name and I was like, yeah, I probably know her or seen her around. Great. Hi, Priya, if you're still in the comment section. So yeah, I can see that you are, you have, first of all, let's talk about your headshot. So I would say this is a great headshot, honestly, where we can see your face clearly, we can see your profile, but there's some background which is like the trees and the college background, which you can probably get rid of if you want, like zoom in a little, get rid of those backgrounds. But honestly, better than what better than some of the other profiles that we've seen. So kudos to you on that. What do you think, Siddharth? Or cover photo also. You need a cover.
Definitely. Yes, cover photo as well. Because when I see, there's no cover photo on any profile, I see like there's something missing, or, there are like less maybe initiatives. It's just that what I consider is that for someone who have like incomplete profile in any sense, I feel like they might just wanted to hop on any other social media and they just wanted to make an account. But if you really want to, just engage your audience, maybe you can start adding more about yourself. Maybe you can start writing, have a good banner in which you can add your interest or something like that. Maybe a cool thought or anything else which motivates you, and something else as well at the same time. Depends on what type of what is your motive to join LinkedIn. Is it just for making connections? Is it just for finding new opportunities or finding jobs or internships? It all depends according to that as well. So feel free to add something rather than nothing.
Yeah.
Again, the audio note over here, I know it's Priya Agarwal, but maybe for someone who is not aware about the accent or the language, they might find it difficult to like pronounce your name.
True.
Also, one more thing over here, like this is a great point. First of all, great thing that you have summarized your headline in two lines. That is for sure, like +1 for that. But the negative thing which I can see over here is the short forms over here. Now, personally, I know CA stands for maybe campus ambassador, but it can be chartered accountant as well. Who knows, right? So it becomes very confusing for someone who is very new and visiting your profile for the very first time, right? Now, campus ninja, CNG. Now, for me, it's like coding ninjas, right? But not many people might be aware about the same. So try to add full forms rather than short forms. That is one thing which I would suggest.
True, agreed upon that. So, as Siddharth mentioned, it is great that you're like utilizing only 2 lines for your headlines. That's absolutely incredible. But at the same time, nobody would know what these words mean unless you like give them a certain context. Cisco Incubator, they would like get an idea about what that is, and they'll just scroll your profile. They can see the description in your experiences. But as a CA, if they want to search the headline for, let's say, chartered accountants or a CA, they'll see your profile, and you don't want to be in one of those search results, right? Because that is not your profile. I'm mentioning Campus Ninja. Like we understand that it's a campus ambassador program, but not everybody does. So like using these abbreviations in your headline might not be the best idea.
Absolutely. And I can see about section is missing, like the feature is missing. So make sure you add that as well. And also, like, for example, Cisco Incubator, you are an intern, but what is the exact role? Maybe you can highlight that, what type of intern you are. And to be very honest, when I read this over here, Cisco Incubator, I was very much curious to know more about the same. So when I just scroll down, I wasn't able to find more details about the same. So maybe you can add like the way you have added over here. Like this is like perfect. You have added at least something about where you're working and maybe the type of role on which you're working. So try to add more about the same for other role as well.
True. You can say that you're a social media manager for Scholarship Tag, which is like your present role. You're still working on that, and that is something that should go in your headline. Rather than the ones that you're like not actively working in. If that is something that you're actively removing for your headline because you don't want to work in the social media department, completely fine. Replace it with something else. But if this is your current role, you should absolutely put that in your headline.
Yeah, and also like few more things. For example, I can see over here that you are a member of a DSC club. Now DSC are like a campus club. I would suggest you not to add this in the experience section, but you can add this in the volunteer section. So this can be helpful for you as well at the same time, because many a times being a member is not something which you can use for getting a job, right? It's
Yeah.
just about how you're becoming the part of any community, right? So try to add something in your experience section which really adds value to maybe the internships or jobs you're looking forward to work with in your future, right? So
Yeah.
try to add those things in your experience section, and all of the other things which you like to do or maybe are involved with, maybe you can add those things in the volunteer sections as well. And also one more question over here, Sashrika, what do you think, how can one decide what to add in experience section and what to add in volunteer section?
Great question. Absolutely. So, anything with which you're a volunteer or a member, or you are not per se at a position of responsibility or a particular role on that organization, you can like clearly add that in the volunteer segment. That's no harm, no foul doing that. But if you have like certain experiences where you have some responsibilities, you have some action items to present, you have to, you can boost about the work that you've already done for that organization. So you can put that in. Let's say, for example, in if you're a mentee at Lean In, all right, you can put that in. You can put this in volunteer, you can put this in experience, but as a mentee, you should define your project. What projects that you've
Yeah.
created, what is something that you built. But as a member of an ACM student chapter, that is a college society, you can put that in your volunteer work. You can put that in, and something that you do when you're studying at a university to grow your skill set. If as a member you organize sessions, events, or workshops for someone in the university, if that is your role, then put that in the experience segment and include a description there. But for something as a Skilenza hustler you're mentioning, if you're mentioning that in the experience section, it should have a description which tells us what your role is. If you don't have a particular role, but you're just volunteering your time learning something or helping someone else learn, put that in the volunteer segment. So this is how you can divide some of these segments. Other things that you can do is, instead of like, I've seen some of these LinkedIn profiles where they add their projects, the projects that they've worked on, in their experience section. Now, there's a difference between a project and an entire side hustle, or let's say a product that they're developing. There's a huge difference between that. A project that they've just built for learning a skill set can go under the project segment. But if you're working on an entire product and you're working with a team and you're like pushing it out and helping someone else, you actually released it or put it in the app store or something. If you've created an application or launched a website, whatever that is, you can put that in the experience section if that is something which is openly available for public use, and they're like, it's a product, it's a brand that you've created, rather than just a side hustle or a way to learn a project. So this is a fine distinction between how you can distinguish between two different work experiences and where it should go. But yeah, if you're just working as a member in an organization, if you're just affiliated with them, instead of adding that as volunteer work, you can also add them in just the organization section, that yes, you are affiliated with this organization, which means that yes, you're interested in what work they do, but you're not just active, like you're not actively contributing to them, you're just like going as a member, learning something new, and then moving on to moving on to some other organization and attending their events for your interests. So that is completely fine. Add them in the organization that you're just affiliated with them, not working for them.
Not gonna insult both of you, but if you all don't understand what either of them said, in simple terms, if you're getting paid, put it in the work experience. If you're not getting paid, put it in the volunteer section. This is my simple mantra.
Yes, thanks Praveen for putting that up. But this is a great perspective, I would say. But for example, for someone who is just starting in their first year, second year, maybe they will find it difficult to find some of the good experiences. So for adding a good experience and differentiating between what to add between volunteer, organization, and experience section, go ahead with this, all the tips which Shashika just mentioned. And if you are like somewhat like in your third year, maybe fourth year, maybe have done few internships or jobs or some kind of a thing, try to listen to what Praveen said. So it matters, for different situations we have different perspectives and different solutions as well at the same time. So yes, thanks a lot Praveen for adding that as well. Yes, as you can see, we have volunteer experience over here, like coordinator, volunteer, organizer. So definitely these are the things which you can add over here as well. And talking about member, as Sashrika said, you can add those things into the organizations over here. You try to use the accomplishment section where you try to add the organization which you're part of, maybe member or maybe any other way as well. So definitely for all of these things, like you can also add these things into your organization as well at the same time. So yep, go ahead and do that. And other than that, I can see skills endorsement recommendations as well at the same time. And like most of the other things are already covered in this, so quite a good profile, I would say.
Yeah.
Awesome. I guess we have next as Praveen. Praveen, are you ready?
I'm
Praveen,
not.
where are you?
Yes.
Praveen, don't tell me that you are eating something.
I'm sorry. I'm talking with the mic muted. I'm really sorry. Okay, so hey, I'm here. Yes, sir. Go for it.
All
First
right.
of all, great banner. I really love this.
Absolutely love it. And honestly, I've said this before to Praveen, and I'll mention it again. He makes the best thumbnails, the best banners that I've ever seen.
Thank you.
These are super incredible.
Yep.
I can absolutely see what he's interested in, and I can see that he's a front end enthusiast. I can see the logos that he's put in that you mentioned that, and also the various profiles that he has on social media. Overall, great. The one thing that I would mention for this cover would be a lot of background. Like in your background, it's not clear. There are a lot of people there, so probably choose a picture where there's a clear background so that I can absolutely see your name clearly and everything clearly. That is the only tip for your cover photo. But honestly, you're the pro here. You can, you of course can find a different picture for that.
Yes, here I can't see the eye, right? It gets like mixed up with the background. So maybe you can have a plain or some decent background over here.
And or probably the thing we do with thumbnails, you crop our pictures and include it over a different photo. So just a clear background or probably some green background would work.
Sure. So, but this I did it like
I can see.
Sorry?
No ways. There's always a chance of improvement and update. So maybe you can come up with something super creative, which you always come up with very soon.
Agreed. And I know what Siddharth is going to say next. You have not mentioned a voice note here with your name on it.
I don't have
That's
a mobile
why we are
application.
moderating.
Yeah. Okay.
Go
So
ahead
just
and
say the
download
negatives
it.
alone. Just say the negatives alone. Yes. Because I don't have an Android app or any app.
No worries. It's just few moments for you to just download it and just add your voice note, because that is the reason why everyone is pronouncing your entire name incorrectly. But if you can add that audio note, maybe we can try pronouncing that correctly maybe next time. So it's not our mistake, Praveen. Come on, go on and add this.
My mistake. I'll take it. Yeah. Thank you.
I love the headshot. It's clear. It's very relevant. I can see a great headshot picture right there.
I'll be changing it.
Yeah. The only thing is you probably zoomed in on a particular picture, so it's just a little blurred. But after if you just don't click on the picture and pop it up open and view it, honestly it looks like a great picture.
And also, Praveen, you can add the one from Microsoft Office if you want to add that. That is like super clear and awesome picture of yours.
Exactly. That is what I was about to say. I will be changing that to this. I should have done that before. That's what I was thinking. Should I even allow you to do this? But yeah, something slipped out.
No worries.
No worries. And again, Praveen, I know you are like, multitasker and you do a lot of things. You contribute to lot many communities. You are at there and at lot many roles. But I would suggest you to just, narrow it down maybe to like few lines, maybe few roles, which you are like really, accountable to, maybe something which you really care about, something which really set you apart from others. Maybe you can add only those roles, and other you can add down below over here.
The about section.
Definitely. Sure.
Yeah.
And I can see you have added your industry, your university, about
University.
section. Let's check that out. Whoops.
Dead. Sorry.
Honestly, yes. You can always see that you're a mentor, you're a full stack developer, open source hardware. You have included those things that were mentioned in the headline. So great way. I mean, you just need to mention all the main things in the headline,
Yeah.
put everything else in the about segment. So the first paragraph seems fine. You can mention what your interests are, and you can add a couple of links in the featured section based on those interests. So that would be absolutely helpful. Looked at your featured section. I'm sure you've added that, but just to put it out there.
Yeah.
And I know what
And
Siddharth
again, this skills.
skills. Just add those to the skills and get those endorsements for you.
And
Oh,
again, these all can be added in the description as well of all of those experience which you have already added.
So there's one thing, I'm not sure if I'm wrong at this one, but I think you use some of these emojis to actually put bullets for your.
Yeah, it will not come in. I guess it
tried
doesn't
that.
come in.
I've already been through that, and it will not work. Just remove those pointers, and it's gonna be of no use. LinkedIn doesn't support that.
Okay, I guess it is an operating system thing. So I guess if you're watching it in Windows or Linux, it doesn't work. It works only in Mac. Sorry about that.
Probably that's just probably that.
Yeah, I was just thinking this idea. So for the next live stream, obviously we won't be able to go through everyone's, right? So how does it is going to be helpful in case if for the next live stream, why don't you, the person who we are reviewing, why don't you come in and then join us an audio and then you both review, or like we three review? How does that sound? How many of you want to be in Praveen FM?
Yeah, that can be awesome. And also for all of those folks who are wondering that why their profile has not been picked, we are going with the flow. We'll pick everyone's profile. If in case we missed yours, what you can do is just listen what we are recommending everyone else, because maybe learning from others' mistake can be a great approach to start working on your profile. And maybe you can see what are the things which you are missing. Maybe if you are talking about section, you know that it should be crisp and short. It should highlight your personality. It should be like around 2 paragraphs. It should not consist of your skills and experiences. So start doing the same for your profile. The suggestions are like general for everyone. We are just working and checking out everyone's individual profile, but you can definitely listen and work around yours as well.
Yes, think of these as example profiles and how these profiles can be improved, and then you can just use those tips on your own profile and then make that work.
Absolutely.
I would also request you both to stop reviewing my profile in exactly 2 minutes. Let's not use this time. So others are also waiting. So Siddharth and Sashrika, why don't you give a quick look through the profile, see all the red flags, and let me know.
The featured section looks good. You're posting out your prevalent information, but if you're just gonna scroll that a little bit, I can see that you ordered stickers from Sticker Mule. I can see, yes. So instead of putting this one, the 30 days, 30 problems, the one that you're currently running, that is your main go-to thing right now. So just put that in first. You can rearrange your featured section to the way that you want. So if you want that to be first, just bring that up front and they can absolutely see that. So I don't have to scroll up till the end.
That's the second one.
Currently the 30 problems in 30 days. It is?
That's not what I'm doing. Currently we are doing this one. That's the second one. The Discord bot thing. Yes. That's the series we are in.
There's this another one which you're doing, this one, the current one, which is 30 days, and I think that there's a gaming month challenge that you currently.
Yeah, that was last month. So 30 days was last month. The gaming month is the Discord bot challenge.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Awesome. And also, apart from all this, the Rubik Cube thing and the Sticker Mule thing, what you can do is you can try adding your website, your blog links over here as a featured one. So maybe you can.
It's there at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
See all might help.
Maybe I need to click on see all. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe you can showcase that in the first 5 section. Yes. Awesome. You're active. We know, that is for sure. First of all, everyone who's watching, take an example. certificates, the graphics, the
This
media which is
certificate,
required, the description,
good description.
everything is on point, See, it looks so like filled up, This is something which I really love. For example, if there's an examiner, checking your answer sheets, if you have written like every answer in the detailed form, they will not even check it, they'll just give you full marks. It's like that kind of a thing. It looks so clean, it looks so, structured.
It's
It
so
properly
organized,
maintained.
yeah. If now for this one, I used simple dashes as bullet pointers, incredible way to actually specify the skill set. I can honestly see what skills you worked on when you were a React JS specialist working as a contract job. So I can see that. I can see these action words. I can see everything is structured, certificates. If anyone wants to have a look at that. So yeah, overall, I think the experience section looks good. I don't have any more pointers on that.
He has even added description to his education, like what a daring. I really love that.
I just copied it from the university site. Both of them.
Thought so.
Oh, actually, for the ununiversity one, I wrote my final year project as the experience.
Wow.
Right. That's
Love
actually.
it.
I have my final project
Again,
tomorrow.
good luck, Sashrika. Everyone in the chat
the best.
wish Sashrika all the very best.
All the best, Sashrika.
I
You
know.
will be rocking it.
I know you'll rock.
I am not exactly sure about this. I've heard that the external is it's not. He's like they're not great. They're not the greatest external the coordinator that you can get. So I'm not sure what will happen tomorrow. But thank you so much.
Guys, time is getting up. Quick.
Sure. And yes, certificates, everything, volunteer experience. Again, you have been a great volunteer in the community, contributing a lot. And wow, like I can't even match this, but awesome, great skills and endorsements, recommendations, of course, accomplishments, courses, honors, whatnot. You're just missing on the very first impression. The rest, everything is like on point. You just need to work around up till here, up till maybe here, up till featured section. Everything below featured section is on point.
So now that we've
Okay,
covered
cool.
Awesome.
like something in detail about all of these profiles, probably in the next few profiles we can be really quick and cover all those main points because we've mentioned all those tips and tricks. We can just probably highlight them in the whole profile.
Yes. What we can do is we can, for example, I'm picking one Ayush. Maybe next you can go, and then me, and then you, and maybe we can quickly go ahead and scroll down and just highlight a few of the important points. So I'll start with Ayush. Great banner. I can understand the keywords you're focusing on right now. I can see great headshot. Background is so bright. I would suggest you to make it a little bit lighter so that it's like easier to look. Wow, I can see the audio note. Let me just hear that. All right, I can hear that. I'm not sure if you all are able to hear that, but Ayush, so neat. It sounds perfect. Web developer, everything's on point. Again, avoid using short forms. Try to reduce this in a two-liner. That would be awesome. Active participant in hackathons. Try to avoid adding these lines like like a sentence. Try to add only proper noun. That would be awesome. And you can definitely add more of your experience in the later part of your profile. But yes, talking about section as we discussed earlier, this is like too long. Try to add little bit about yourself, your personality, who you are, what are you looking forward to, and any other things about yourself, and that would be awesome. I can see you have mentioned your projects over here. The certificates, again, certificates you can add in the certificate section. So try not to use this section for your certificate. Maybe instead you can try adding your like top best links, like a portfolio or something like that, or any of your achievements. That would be awesome. Again, add description. I can see you're active. Add descriptions to this. So you have already added the graphics which is required. See, license and certificate you have already added over here. Volunteer experience again. So yeah, I do not see anything missing over here. Do you see anything missing, Sashrika?
No, I think you covered everything pretty well. The accomplishment section, I'm glad to see that in place. If you have some other courses that you want to add, just pop those right in. But yeah, I also appreciate you adding you're adding as a project. But I would say like in the volunteer experience, you're adding as a project developer for as a participant in Major League Hacking hackathons. Instead of that, I would say just add that in the project, like as a volunteer experience. Probably use it for different like different profiles that you have.
Yeah,
But yeah,
fair enough. Awesome. Let me pick someone else now. Is it like Sneha?
Yeah, and one more thing is like,
Right.
yes, they both have hijacked my profile. Sorry, hijacked my stream. So they are the ones who are in front of you. I'm just being put in the back. So I'm still here. So no worries.
all right.
Yes.
First off, a great. So we're looking at a profile, good headshot, but it's a little tilted. I would rather recommend you put a straight headshot so that we can see your picture, something which has little red, like little less background, like a clean background per se. So like removing the, like you have a Pepsi can background in the background, so just remove that. Probably pick a different profile. Include a cover photo. That is absolutely necessary, as mentioned. Like we went in detail about that. Another thing that is missing, Siddharth's favorite, include a voice note that actually says a lot more about your, like, say something about your name so that everybody knows how it's pronounced. Website developer at ASS India, short and sweet. I like that, it's crisp. If you have any other things, you have space to add that. But if not, write the full form of ATS instead of just adding ADS. Another thing that you want to do. The about section is missing, so probably want to add your about section. I can see your highlights, and I can see a featured section. In your featured section, you can see your portfolio. So you probably want to add a couple more things in your featured section, your portfolio, your website. I can see that you want to highlight some of the posts that you have made on LinkedIn if there's nothing else that you want to show up. With your activity, I can see that you are supportive of your friends, your colleagues. You are mentioning congratulations, but that is all I can see. So if you have some posts or something else to show in your activity, you might want to be more active on LinkedIn. Your experience looks incredible. So you are a digital marketing intern, a website developer, a PHP developer. Description is missing. You can add a few description about some of the action items that you've done, some of like what kind of work you entailed, what was your role responsibilities. Certificates, you have internship letter certificate for PHP developer. If you have one for the digital marketing intern, as you can see, it was a 2-month internship, probably great. If not, no worries, just add a description, that'll be good. Education, as we saw Praveen's profile, you can add something for your education segment, add description for your education too. So probably want to go forward with that. I like that you have introduced skills and endorsements separately and not in not anywhere else. And like, folks have endorsed those skills, so good use of that. If you have some projects that could showcase the same skills, kudos. I'm not going to look into the project descriptions, but I can see that there are 3 different projects, a WordPress website, which means that you might have you have experience in the skills that you have mentioned. So great. Also, another course there, you might want to add some of the organizations that you're affiliated with, the same ones that you mentioned in your experience, or you want to go for, if you have some other courses, responsibilities, anything else, or volunteer work that you want to add that I don't see here. So a couple of these are the pointers that I can see are somewhat missing. And if you have some experience, relevant experience, you can add that. But with the current profile that I can see, these are a few tips of improvements that I would say would be very beneficial for your profile. Anything else you'd like to add, Siddharth?
Yes, only one more point. Well pointed everything by Sashrika. But as you have written in your headshot, you are a website developer at ATS India, and talking about checking your experience, you have written over here as well, website developer, digital marketing intern, and PHP developer. According to that, I can see PHP over here, Microsoft Office over here. Maybe try adding some skills which is directly relevant to your role which you have experienced before. For example, if you have done website development just with respect to PHP, it's fine. But if not, there are any other languages like maybe HTML and CSS, JavaScript, or any other framework as well. So try adding that as well. For example, C, I'm not sure if you have used C language in any of these internships, but if yes, that's fine. If not, try to add something which you have used or worked with before while you're working with some companies, while within your organization or something, so that people can check that out, because few people will click on this show more and will find other skills. For example, now I can see HTML, now I can see Python, now I can see C#, Flask, right? But few people do that. They only see the first top 3 over here. And if I can see something which I can relate with, which I have like seen you working with, I can directly, endorse you for the same right away. So, yep, maybe work around that. And let me check who is next. Oops, that's a single name and many people over here. Let me find. There are many people with the same name. I'm not sure which to pick.
Hey,
Abhishek.
which one? Which one? Which
It's
one I can try?
Abhishek Kumar.
It's Kumar Abhishek. Maybe try just putting Kumar Abhishek. Wait, even I don't understand. Is Kumar Abhishek here? Or else we can go with Kirtana. If Kirtana, you are here.
Let me find Kirtan. I just found her. Let me just.
Okay, I'll try to bring her on the call.
Kumar Abhishek is also in the chat room. Just commented.
Maybe Abhishek, what you can do is just drop your LinkedIn profile in the chat so that I can.
Kumar Abhishek, can you just can you just put the last the username of your LinkedIn profile after the in? That will help us just copy and paste it here. Okay.
Right.
Awesome. Let's talk about Kirtana now. Now, first of all, let me hear the name. Okay, it's Kirtana. I was pronouncing that as Kirtana. So maybe yes. Now I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kirtana. Now it's perfectly fine. So plus on this. All right. I like the headshot. It's perfect. The background is blur. Still you can maybe add a little more single color, but that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter that much because it's blur. If it would not have been blur, that might have created issue, but this is perfectly fine. Straight headshot, perfect. Banner, try adding that as well. BTech CSE again avoid, because when I click on your university over here, I can see you are a BTech CS student, right? So you can remove this. This is redundant. Again, GSOC, I know it's curl script summary of code, but not many people might be aware about the same. So try adding the full form. SIH, again, Smart India Hackathon. I know this, but not many people might be aware about the same. So avoid using short forms. You've added industry, that is perfectly fine. All right, this looks much better. 2 paragraph, 1 ending note with a thought. This looks good. You are letting others know who you are, a little bit about your experience, a little bit about what skills you're working with, not just listing out everything. As I said earlier, 1 or maximum 2 is fine, so that people can understand where are you coming in from, anything else as well. Since the time is started person, see, you are adding your background as well, like your journey or maybe your personality. So that is something which I really loved, but maybe you can try adding more of it. You are still adding different domains over here, which is like can be added in the later part of your section as well.
Siddharth,
but yes,
try
to let us know more about
for the headshot
yes,
headline. For the headline, she says that the Kirtana, you are saying that you cannot add more contents, but it has been upgraded to a bigger one. Since you are in the stream, you have got a special permission to put everything in the full form. Okay, just put the full form now. Yes,
and
we also
like
need.
when you will.
We need to be also
saying,
mindful about the length restriction, Siddharth.
Yes, that's what I was about to say, because many times it happens that many people say about the number of characters they are using. So that is the reason why I'm asking you to avoid all of these things, like the redundant things, like the BitTech CSE. I'm not sure what University Student Council is. It may be something with relevant to your volunteership in your campus club or something like that. So you can add those things into your volunteer section as well, because that is not something which may add a lot of value, but something apart from that, for example, web development intern, Girl Script Summer of Course, Smart India Hackathon will definitely be on priority then compared to the University Student Council. So when you remove all of these things, you'll definitely see the characters left out with you, and you can definitely add the full forms as well. I hope that helps. Awesome. I can see the featured section again, talking about certification. I would say highlighting few important certificates is good. Like as I can see, CodeGem. That is definitely something which shows how good you are in competitive programming. But apart from that, try not to add lot many of certificates. Again, this is LOR, so you can add this into your maybe experience section as well while you're adding. But if it's just one and it adds value, maybe you can add that over here as well. Again, description, as I said, activity is there, good, fair enough. Try adding more description to the same. If you're open source contribute, try adding a little bit more about the type of project which you're working on, maybe different skill set which you're working on, maybe more about what are the different, maybe, technologies you're working with, and maybe other things as well at the same time. What is Girl Script Summer of Code? Let us know more about that as well, and that would help. Same goes with every other thing over here in the experience section. Again, education license certification. We talked about some common points earlier. Please keep that in mind. And yes, see, University Student Council have already added over here, so make sure you remove from the headline. Skills and endorsements, again, it looks good, decent. You have added web development, mobile development, application leadership. Because you have been working with Student Council, I can understand the leadership, where does that comes from. And you have been, web development intern. But if you are aware about the entire technologies of web development, if you consider that as a domain or maybe as a whole, that's good. Or just in case you want to highlight more on some specific technologies or maybe some specific frameworks in web development domain, you can add those as well, right? Maybe you can avoid mobile app development over here and try adding that. But it all depends upon what is your mindset, what are your skill sets, and how well equipped you are with all of them. But yes, recommendation looks good. Again, you have added courses, projects. Try adding organization publications, if any. If not, try adding something which most relate, which you can most relate with. And yep, rest all looks good to me. The best part from this profile was about section and the audio and the headshot. What do you think, Sashrika?
Yeah, I think you covered everything pretty well. The tips that you gave about the headlines, I think particularly that is the most useful part about this profile, because that's
and I guess you should reload the profile to see the latest changes. She has actually updated it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like to see that you're proactive and you're doing it long. Wonderful. So again, GSOC, I think it's short. I understand that, but because you've mentioned that down below, it's all right. You can go ahead with that. Smart India Hackathon finalist, that is incredible, because now I can understand that you participated in a hackathon, which was like an India level hackathon, as the name suggests. If I just don't know what Smart India Hackathon is, I can see the name and I can understand that you were a finalist for that, and you've done incredible. You've done something to make your profile look more active. So you're a web development intern. You're this. You are a Smart India Hackathon finalist. That's what pops out. And if I can see GSOC, I would first of all think that it might be a GSOC project, but then I would be interested to know more about your project. And as soon as I scroll down, I can see the Girl Script Summer of Code project that you have created, and that's completely fine. So just add a description there, and you're good to go for that.
Yeah. Also, one more thing. For example, you have just mentioned about the program. Maybe if you can add more to that. For example, you're like a contributor, a maintainer, or something like that. That would be awesome as well at the same time. Awesome. So let's check the profile. We'll see. Sashrika, go ahead with this.
All right. So again, as I'm not sure if how's it pronounced. So if it's will see, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. If there was a audio button there, we would have known. But no worries. All right. As a headshot, click on that. So for the headshot, the only thing is this is a little light on this side, so I was not able to see your image clearly. So if you can choose a better picture, absolutely incredible. But honestly, I like that you've chosen a profile, a straight headshot, which again is something which is the necessary thing here. But if you have a better picture, go for it. Otherwise, this is absolutely fine. Add a cover photo that describes your profile. You did an intern at LW and MLOps. Now, I don't know what LW is, right? Again, you have a GSOC mentor. We get that. We discussed that on length of the previous profile. But again, SWOC, no idea what that is. So machine learning, you mentioned machine learning. If you want, you can mention, you also already mentioned MLOps. So I assume that is something related to that. But if you don't, then again, it's an abbreviation. I wouldn't know. You mentioned machine learning. Instead of that, if you mentioned your profile about what you interned at, where you're interning at, that profile link, that profile name, that would be much beneficial rather than mentioning a skill, which can go down below at the skill segment. You're Azure Developer Community Organizer. That's great. Good to know. And I like that it's complete in all segments. I can see that that you are an organizer for the Azure Developer Community. For the About section, I can see that you love. I think there are a few typos and grammatical errors. You might want to remove that, edit that a little bit. But apart from that, I can see that you're an Azure developer. You and the skills that you have mentioned, skills again can go down at the bottom, so you don't have to highlight them absolutely in the About section. You can highlight a few skills that you absolutely want the recruiter to know. But apart from that, everything else can go down. You participated in a hackathon. I would rather see what hackathons you participated in than just the mention of the thing that you participated in hackathon. If you're saying mentioning something like I actively participate in hackathons such as and mention 2 names, that's it. Nothing more than that. It is GitHub Code Innovation Series, Code and Build Developer Group. If you mentioned all of these below, I would rather see those descriptions because I have no clue what any of this means in the About section. Now you're working as a graphic design intern at Regis, so that is Regix. I think that's great. Fellow member at Incubate for 6 months and completed MLOps training board. So this particular section is complete because I can understand what it means. I know what you like to work as a graphic designer and you're working as a fellow member for 6 months. If you can mention in what particular field you're working in graphic design or you're working as an engineer, what is it? Engineering fellow, whatever it is. And then a strong professional with a BTech focus in computer science. Again, college name is not necessary because that I can see that in the education segment. So you can remove these lines. But apart from that, I think the featured section looks good because you mentioned your GitHub Code Innovation, your MLOps certificate and stuff like that. Great. So I can see that you are a little active on LinkedIn, not so much, but most of it I see congratulations, which tells me that you're supportive. But if I could see just one post from your end about what you learned, about what you're experiencing when you're walking through the industry, that would be great. Again, the description is missing from the experience. If you're just going to add that, your profile would pop up and it would be incredible. It's going to be great if you just add a few lines of description right there. So apart from that, I can see a few certificates, which is great because once you added the certificates, you're adding credentials and you're adding credibility to what you claim you are. So that I think I love. There are couple of more experiences, which I'm not going to click on. I just scroll that because it gives me an idea about your profile. So just swiping up. Now we are looking at the profile for 5 minutes, but somebody as a recruiter would just look it for 2 to 3 seconds. You just scroll right up. So they'll just see what's there on top of your profile because in chronological order, whatever it is that you were doing recently is what they're most interested in. So they'll just look at that. Education looks good. License and certifications, you have got 2. You have a Python from ProGate and you have an advanced level certification. That is incredible. If you can see the project that you built with ProGate, you can add that at the bottom and that will complete the entire loop. Great volunteer experience. You also mentioned that you were as your community developer, and as you can see, you are as your community hero. So that gives me a lot more confidence that yes, you have some experience with Azure and you've been working on that. Now you were a mentor at RU Hacks. Great job. That shows me that you're active in the community and you love hackathons. Skills and endorsement. Now instead of adding C++ data structures in C, I would rather see something related to machine learning because you mentioned that in your profile quite often. So there's that. I can see recommendation, which is great since you've added a few recommendations that from skills and a great accomplishment section because there are courses, there are honors and awards, there are projects, and there's languages. If the projects are explained in depth, that is what we need. And for the honors, there's also, if there are descriptions mentioned on what you worked, what is that honor for? Why did you receive that? I mean, that is what is required. So overall, the profile looks great. And these are some of the tips that I had from my end. Siddharth, would you like to add anything else?
Before that, just quick thing. We missed Abhishek's profile. So Siddharth, I have messaged you his profile both in your LinkedIn as well as in the collaborative chat. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick that up shortly. I've just copied that same. One thing. First of all, banner. Other thing, for example, if you're adding, 2 pipes over here, for example, it would take, 2 characters of yours. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, you are taking 3 characters over here, right? So maybe try reducing that. And also, the mentor word over here is redundant. It's like coming 2 times. For example, I can understand, Again, at the rate as well. It is two times. It is again taking, like, if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and one with the space. So 12 characters are like extra. You can add a lot of other things in the character. What you can do is, for example, mentor at gsoc and gsoc and swoc, right? Again, I know it's script winter of code. I'm not sure about the same yet, but see, again, it comes to the same. Machine learning, as you have mentioned already over your MLOps, so it becomes again a redundant kind of a thing, and I can't understand anything from machine learning. Are you a machine learning enthusiast? Are you a machine learning practitioner? Are you a machine learning intern, or somewhere at a job or something like that? So for me as a viewer, it becomes a lot confusing, like what with respect to machine learning, right? So try to add something which can definitely assure someone who is looking at your profile. So intern at LW and MLOps, perfect. Mentor at GSS SOC or SWAC, sorry, and Azure developer, community organizer. I guess this would work fine for you, but definitely you can check and see how things goes around for your particular maybe thought process. But yes, rest of the things as mentioned by Sashrika, absolutely fine. And next up is Abhishek, I guess. And it's already 11:15. I see we have around like only 15 minutes left with us. So if we can see and check out as soon more profiles which we can. As many as profiles we can. All right. Kumar Abhishek. Again, voice note is missing, but you can add that. And I see you have added a virtual background, maybe some other background afterwards. Maybe if you have already added that, I'm not sure why you have added this kind of a background, but maybe you can have a plain background over here as well, and maybe try to have a clean
Also one small thing here, Abhishek. It doesn't
Yes,
cost you to smile, man. Please, you are frowning there.
I remember,
It's like you
in one
did
of
not
my
select
older,
me.
one of my, in one of my older picture, I was like frowning, and I wasn't feeling as if I was frowning. But Praveen mentioned that, so that why are you frowning? Please change this picture, and I updated my picture. In while Praveen was making the thumbnail for this particular live stream as well, he used my earlier picture. But then I mentioned that, hey Praveen, I updated my picture for you, and now you are using my previous picture. So he updated my new picture then. So it's fine, you can have multiple pictures, you can play around with different headshots as well. I personally do a lot of photo shooting at my home and try to experiment with my pictures as well at the same time,
Yeah,
and you
what
can
happened
do
to your
as well.
green screen, dude?
It's fine. I'm not using that right now. It's just beside me, I'm just using that for streaming on my YouTube channel, just in case I want to
It's
remove my
so unfair,
background.
dude. Okay, fine.
We do not need anything at your stream. You have made, that blocks for us, right?
Yeah, right. Okay, go on.
All right.
And let's make it quick as well. Like we have another 10 or something, 10 minutes left, so people need to go sleep. Or what do you think? Should we carry on? What about Sashrika? I'm more concerned about her.
I actually have to hop off at 11:30. I have another meeting to attend.
Yes.
But if you want to, you can please go ahead and continue. Like everyone is interested in
We
it.
also need to know the stuff about others as well. So if you are also happy to stay around, then we are happy to continue. Or else we can do part 2 and part 3. How many of you are going to convince Siddharth and Sashrika to once again or twice again, hijack my session? How many of you? Say hijack. No, okay, hijack might be a bad word. So say like once again or twice again. Just put it in the comments so that and we will also set up the Praveen FM as well.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea. Maybe what we can do is, of course, for all of those people who are asking us to complete it today, we can do that. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna sustain all of that energy within
And
me
one more
right
thing,
now. I'm
Drew was
gonna
saying like part 6, man, part 6.
Part 6.
see. I'll let you know what the reality is. See, we have been working around and giving you some feedbacks and constructive feedbacks at the same time. But as I said earlier, and you can definitely learn a lot from others' mistakes. That is the part of the process. And I have personally learned a lot, and not repeating that at the same time as well. So maybe you can do the same. even if we haven't picked your profile, but while checking out others' profile, you might have seen that you are missing audio note, or maybe you are missing adding full forms, or maybe your about section is too big or something like that. So now all the suggestions which we made were general, right? We haven't said that no, you are not a programmer, you are not a designer, something like that, right? So keep subjective opinions aside, but work on general feedbacks which we gave, and try to work around that as well. And in case you have updated your profile and we haven't reviewed that right over here, I'm not sure about Sashrika, but you can feel free to ping me as well. If Sashrika permits, you can ping her as well.
No, absolutely. Yeah. If you've not like looked at your profile, and if you think that there's absolutely something very different in your profile that we've not covered in all sample profiles, feel free to reach out to us, connect with us, mention that you were in Praveen's stream so that I have some context. Because one thing that I know, while you can send a connection request, is if you just add a small message on like how you know me, or where you found out about me and you want to connect. I would absolutely love to connect with you, because it takes us a little while to go through all the connection requests. But absolutely, if you have something very specific in mind and you need my help, my DMs on Twitter are open. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn and get your profile reviewed. So absolutely, I'd love to help, and nothing more than help. Even for this stream, you not even like just a quick background on how this stream managed to be as it is today. Praveen just asked, "Hey, would you be interested in helping out?" I was like, "Absolutely, I am very open to jump up on a live stream and help out folks as much as I can." So if that is the scenario, and if you absolutely need some review, or someone to look at your profile and then give you some tips right there for something different, you can reach out to us, drop in a message, and I'll respond as soon as I can, and we'll help you out.
Sorry, did I miss anything? Because I just stepped.
But we were actually.
I don't think so.
If somebody had anything that they want to specify for, if they want to have their profile reviewed from us, they can reach out to us on LinkedIn as well. That is absolutely an option.
Yep. And let's just now quickly review Kumar Abhishek's profile as well. So yes, as I was saying about the background, add your audio note. Again, core member of DSC MMDU. I'm not sure about this. Maybe this is your university name, as I can see from here. But you can add this into your volunteer section. I would not recommend to add this over here, but if it really adds value to your profile, feel free to add that. Programmer and designer. Again, programmer, if yes, what type of programmer, that really become necessary. Like, maybe some particular technology, as you might have seen in other profiles like web developer and, PHP developer, something like that. So try to be more specific. Designer, again, are you like web designer? Are you like any other graphic designer, or what type of designer you are? So that adds a lot of value. Campus business manager at Prep Bytes, perfect. All right, let's move forward. Again, I like this. Professional programmer and designer. Try to add more keywords over here. That would be awesome. I really like how short it is, but try to add more of your personality. As I can see, you have been active with various communities over here, and you are good with innovation and coding background. Your emphasis is on particular skills, and you are open for these opportunities. This looks good. And what you love to do, you have also mentioned this over here. Try also adding more about your background. What are you doing right now? And maybe any other opportunities you're looking forward to, or what are the ways one can reach out to you. That can be awesome. Featured, I can see only one. Try adding more, because I can see you are a bit active over here. So try to add more of your featured work. That can be awesome. Oh, so sorry, I just missed something. But yes, try adding descriptions over here, as we said earlier. Now these are like, again, we are just giving you the general tips which we talked about earlier as well. So for all the people who are saying that their profiles are like missed in this live stream, make sure you are working around this general types. Educator, awesome. Core member, you can add this into your volunteer section. That would be great. And again, yes, I can't see. I'm not sure why I can't see the plus button. Maybe if I'm not connecting with you, that's the reason. But maybe there might be some toggle that you can allow your connections to endorse you or something like that. Still, I'm not sure about the same, but maybe you can check out for the settings as well. I can see
interesting. I guess it's only for
Volunteer section
it's
missing.
only for people who are connected with you. Yeah.
Possible. Yeah, possible. And also I cannot see the volunteer section, the accomplishment section, so you are missing a lot on that. So make sure you are adding that as well. Any other thing which I missed, Sashrika?
Yeah, I see that you have a lot of experience. So adding an accomplishment section where you add your volunteer work, you add a volunteer section, adding your organizations, courses might not be very difficult because I can see that you have a lot of experience that you can utilize and add there. But yeah, apart from that, I think Siddharth covered everything pretty well. I like your I like your cover photo, and the reason that I do like it because you mentioned that you're a designer and you're trying to present those skills with that. But again, as Siddharth mentioned, you can add a few other keywords there, and you can use your skills and show that off, and it will make for a very good cover photo there. So yeah, I think this looks.
Yeah. And also one more thing, for example, if you really want to seek out for more opportunities, try to connect with more people. As you can see, it's 182 as of now. So what you can do is try to engage with more audience, try to post regularly, try to share your experience or learnings, try to ask open-ended questions or something like that from which everyone can learn, and many other ways as well. So try leveraging the platform and try reaching out or connecting with more folks, more like-minded folks, I would say. From someone you can learn something new, from someone you can gain some experiences, or just observe what they are doing and become better version of yourself. But let's check out Tarun Singh now. Sashrika.
Sure, and I can see that Tarun was in the chat room. He was there and he was worried that we won't reach his profile. Tarun, here we are. So I can see that you have a great headshot where you mentioned, a great headshot, a straight photograph. There is a computer screen in the background, but I think that is all right, absolutely fine. Apart from that, looks a great headshot. The only other thing is the picture looks a little blurred, so you might want to check on why that is and if you want to replace it with a better picture. But if you just look at the profile and not click on the picture, it looks completely fine. Apart from that, your cover photo looks great because you have a file developer, technical content writer, YouTuber, open source. Gives me a little bit context on who you are. I can also see that you have introduced the voice note about how your name is pronounced. Great, good job at that. You're a founder at One Day Place. You're a technical content writer at GFG. Now, somebody who doesn't know what GFG is will have no clue why this is present there, but you'll understand that you are a technical content writer for that. Web developer, open source contributor, YouTuber. Now, instead of writing web developer, I would say include that as a skill or include a project that says you're a web developer. But if you still want to go for that, go forward. Open source contributor and YouTuber, I agree with that. You can add that. But make sure that you have added some organizations that you've contributed to. And if I can see your GitHub link somewhere in the profile, that will complement your open source contributor claim too. Let's scroll down a little and see your about section and see what that looks like. You're currently a student at Maharaj Institute affiliated with GGSIP, pursuing Bachelor's of Computer Application, technical content writer. You've added a link. Include this link to the featured section. That would be better. Open source enthusiast, YouTuber. If you have a YouTube link, I would like to see that in the featured section too, because you mentioned that you're a YouTuber at 3 different places. Your skills. Include those skills in the skills section and rather add something about something you want to highlight and bring out in your profile in the about section. So you can utilize that space instead of adding those skill set there. In your featured section, I see your resume, personal choice, honestly, as we've already mentioned. You've received Google Cloud swags, which means you might be a Google Cloud contributor. You love that, but I would rather see your GitHub profile here rather than yours, mention of a swag box, because you've already met, or your YouTube profile link, as you've mentioned both of these things before. So, because I'll tell you another thing, if on the featured section, nobody would click on that right arrow to see all of those features content, they will see right up straight what you want to present. And that would be the first thing that they see. So if that is not appealing enough, or that is not something related to what you've already claimed that you have, they might just scroll and move on to the next profile.
Sashrika and Siddharth, kindly check the comment section. I'm not able to handle now. Everyone is currently waiting for the whole session to look at their profiles. What would you answer them? I'll just leave it to you both, because you both hijacked my profile. I mean, my stream.
I'm not sure if it is possible for us to review another profile today, since we are just about time, and that would probably be the last profile for me. If Siddharth wants to continue with the live stream and he can do that, absolutely go for it. I, for one, have to graduate tomorrow by giving an exam and giving a viva per se. So, I mean, I'm not the best person to be hanging out this late at a stream where I have like.
Folks, how about afternoon or like slightly 4 afternoon, like 4 noon in on Saturday? Shall we have the second part and maybe second and third combined? Like, let's have another 2 hours or 3 hours if Siddharth is gonna be alive and Sashrika is also accepts that. So we can have that on Saturday afternoon around 11 o'clock. I'll try to wake up early. It's gonna be early morning for me, but I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I think we can do a second part. I'm not sure about Saturday though. If you want this profile to be reviewed really urgently on Saturday, I am coaching mental health hacks, and so you can like drop by in a hacker hangout and ask my help there. But I'm not sure if Saturday would be like a pretty good.
If Saturday won't work, yes, we three will discuss and quickly come up with a date. Let's quickly finish off Tarun's profile and then we will also do this because yes, at 7 o'clock when I have a meeting right now, both me Sashrika have meetings. So yeah, sorry.
Again, chat room comment section, we really apologize that we weren't able to get through all of your profiles, and we'll surely try and come up with a day that works best for all of us and it works best for you so that we can help you all with that. But for now, let's just finish off with this profile, and you can take these tips and introduce them to your profile so the next time we review it, we can offer you something different rather than the things that we covered today. So as we mentioned, your experience section should include a lot more description, Tarun. So add a description about one tip place, and then probably so you mentioned your articles for Geek.
Is everyone able to see the stream or is it dead?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
it looks like it is dead. It looks like it was dead for some time. I'm really sorry about it. 2 hours, I guess the system is not in a position to stream as well. Let's see what's happening.
I guess it's perfect now.
Okay, go on. Yeah, we'll just quickly finish it off and then we'll say bye to everyone.
Great. So again, I can see your experiences, which is great because then I can see that you worked as a local guide, community volunteer, and gives me a lot more context on how you're active in the community and also about Microsoft Insight. I'm glad that you've added a description there so that I can know what part of the program you're involved in. Your skills and endorsements looks great, but there's just one thing you've also, I think, mentioned about your open source contributions. And if you can just mention in which particular technology you've done that and add those skills there, that's going to be great and incredible. I can see your recommendations, which means that you all probably asked your colleagues to do that for you. And so gives me a lot more context on how you work and who you are. Great accomplished section. I can see a lot of activity there, a lot of organizations that you've been a part of. I am not sure if I can. So probably I think you've written an open source contributor because of GSOC, which means that you might have added a project there. So if your project mentions that, great. Courses, I can see a lot of courses there where Udemy web development and programming in Java and other honors and awards. So I think overall this section looks fine to me. But yeah, there's just a couple of tips that I had for your profile at the beginning. What do you want to say about that, Siddharth?
Yep, wonderful, but also one more thing which I would suggest. I'm not sure because I can see the live stream and we are not able to see the screen which is shared. But Praveen, would you like to tell us more about that? If you have stopped sharing that, I'm not sure. But,
I'm still not stopped the screen share. So what should I do? Should I stop?
No, I can see on the live stream. I can see 3 of us over there, and no, not like. Let me check. Oops. So sorry, I missed it. All right, my bad, everyone. Yes, I was just saying that everything looks good on his profile. But the only thing which I would say over here is for all of those whose profile are like missed right now, I would just recommend that I did the same live on my YouTube channel. I'll also be sharing my YouTube channel link in the live chat. So check that out once. and I was reviewing everyone's LinkedIn profile. And while reviewing, before I started reviewing, what I did was I spent the first 20 minutes in explaining what LinkedIn is all about, what are the mission of LinkedIn, and what are the different visions of LinkedIn, and everything else apart from that as well at the same time. So maybe what you can do is just check that out once, so that you can understand what it is all about. And as you can see over here, the vision and mission of LinkedIn. And then I started sharing the screen and started explaining more about what are the top 10 things which you should definitely keep in mind while you're considering and framing your LinkedIn profile or something like that. And you can definitely keep those things in mind as well. And yes, you can check out the first 20 minutes of this video so that you can understand what are the things which you can definitely work around on, and you can upgrade your LinkedIn profile accordingly. This is just I'm saying so that for all of those profile which we missed in this live stream, so you can maybe work around all of those tips and tricks and maybe update your profile accordingly. And I'm sure you might have learned a lot after this 2 hours stream, even if nothing, at least something, right? So yeah, I'm not sure what to say next because it's already 11:30 right now, and I still have one training program which I need to complete by tomorrow. It's big.
Yeah,
All right then. So
late,
yeah,
but
yeah.
honestly, thank you for being such a great audience and being such a great sport, sharing your LinkedIn profiles and getting them reviewed because you wanted to level up your profile. And I honestly thank you, Praveen, for actually allowing us to hijack your session entirely so that we can help folks out through your channel. You're doing a good job with that, and I must say it's been great throughout as we were trying to help folks around. So I'm so sorry that we missed your profiles. We really wanted to get through all of those, but we'll probably just come up with something else to help you out. Again, thank you so much for the invite. Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm sure Siddharth and I had a ton of fun helping you out, reviewing your profiles. I hope that you all did too.
So just give us another couple of days, like just even 1 or 2 days to come up with the series of the sessions, so that I'm just going to make sure Sashrika and Siddharth, both of them are with me. And Sashrika and Siddharth, both of you have to promise me this one. So let's do at least till 4 parts. All right?
Parts. I'm not sure if we have that many profiles, but I'm sure, why not?
Yahoo! So that's great. So thanks everyone for coming in and staying till the end. Really, really sorry that even though you stayed till the end, your profiles were not picked up, but definitely you would have learned a lot from the other profiles. So for people who have stayed till the end, we are going to pick up your profiles first, and then we will go through those things. All right? How does that sound? And we will do the Praveen FM thing as well next time.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we need to find some, good ways or some hacks to maybe review everyone's profile together.
Yes.
But let's find the best way possible next time. But until next time, make sure everyone is doing good, and maybe you can work around all of those tips and tricks which we shared. And apart from all of those things, stay safe at your home, because we know these are tough times for everyone. We are going through a lot these days, but
Main thing is you have to stay safe and follow the local guidelines. That is more important.
Yep, that is more important. All right, it was great fun over here on Praveen's channel, hijacking or maybe taking over his channel, removing him from the stream. Me and Sashrika had a great time over here as well, reviewing all of your profile. And yep, thanks a lot for joining us for this stream.
Thank you so much, and stay safe, stay home, and we'll see you around next time.
Bye-bye.